Why, hello there, my name is Depth Charge 2030 and today is day 31 of StormWatch Month. This is the final day of StormWatch Month, so yeah. For those who don't know what StormWatch Month has been, StormWatch Month is essentially just me talking about Stormwatch, the comic book series, for the entire month of May. So I'm all kind of dressed up. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of like dark because it's sunny outside and ooh. So yeah. Today I'm talking about Stormwatch issue number 30, the concluding issue to DC's New 52 Stormwatch. So yeah, just take a look at that cover art. That's some nice art. We got Adam 1 in the background, Engineer Apollo, Jenny Quantum, Midnighter. Yeah. So let's just jump right in and talk about the issue. So the issue itself, it starts off with Apollo, Midnighter, they're killing aliens because they want to invade Earth. And so they kind of, through dialogue, we learn that the whole event of Jim Starlin's run was kind of like, it's now never happened now because the timeline's back in order, so hey, that's okay. That's not a real big loss. But yeah. So everything's back into order, although we now learn that the Shadow Lords, the Stormwatch has now broken away from the Shadow Lords. They stole their ship, the carrier, and said bye, because we don't work for you anymore, so yeah, cool. So then we look over on what Jenny Quantum, what she has going on. She's like on a date, because she's a teenager. She's, doing stuff. She wants to be, hey, Toby, you're the coolest guy out there, yeah. And so she's having difficulty trying to figure this kid out, because he's like, ugh, I'm emo, ugh. And then she's like, what, hey, it's cool that we snuck in there, right? She's like, ugh, I'm emo, ugh, school sucks, emo, ugh. And so, yeah. And so, she gets called away, like, in the middle of a very, whoa moment. So she goes to Los Angeles. Turns out a building is like alive and trying to kill crap. And so she's like, damn. And so Apollo, Midnighter, and Jenny, they have to go and, stop this thing. While at the same time, the engineer, she's trying to contact Jack, who's on vacation because of the whole event from the collective. And so she just talks to the projectionist. She's like, hey, you mind doing me a solid? I won't bring up that whole Harry Tanner thing anymore. If you do me a solid and, wipe all the internet from this event going on in LA. So she goes to do that. While Midnighter and Jenny Quantum, they go to set off and try and figure out what's going on. And then they find Jack Hawksmoor actually attached to a black box down below the city. So they're like, oh, someone put this box thing here and hooked it up to the city, so like LA was like shouting, screaming for Jack to come and help it, but the box itself, it incapacitates anyone it sees as a threat, and then just absorbs their powers into it. So currently it's using Jack to create the buildings going around and destroying stuff up top on the surface. So Jenny Quantum, she's doing her best to keep the box away from her, from absorbing her and rendering her useless in combat. So yeah, so she's using emotional blackmail, because during this she's having this whole like inner monologue about how Stormwatch, she's eventually going to wind up running things, but she needs everyone to teach her how to, be a leader. So she's trying to talk to Jack, get through to him, being like, I need you to teach me to be a good leader. So please, help me. And so it gets through to Jack, he breaks away, and that allows Jenny to go and just destroy the box thing, which ends everything upstairs in LA. And so then we cut over to the Shadow Lords, what's going on with them. Turns out they filled their ranks with Adam 1, and they were the ones who set up everything. So it's like, oh, hey, Adam 1, you said, this would work. And he's like, oh, we'll get him next time. Winky face. Winky face. Because, Adam 1, he's he's kind of nice, even though he's, Merlin. I don't know. And so Jenny, she pops back over to what she was doing earlier, and yeah, and that Toby kid, he's being like, ugh, I want to drop out of school, ugh. And so Jenny, she kisses him and then tells him, "Hey, I'm probably never gonna see you again, so bye." And then Midnighter, in all of his amazingness, goes, "Stay in school, kid," and then he leaves. And so then it just cuts over to uh, an invading fleet of aliens about to invade Earth, and then they get called up by Stormwatch, being like, "Hey, we're the first line of defense. This is our homeworld. Don't mess with it, or we will drop you." And then they all stand heroically on a screen with all the active members of Stormwatch there. So, and that's where the comic ends. So, what did I think of it? I really loved this issue. Personally, I wish that Sterling Gates here, he had his own, like, if you gave this guy like all of like what Jim Starlin was doing, just gave him the whole run of those 11 issues and let him do something with it, I would have been on board. Like, this issue alone, it's a fine way to send off Stormwatch. It's got everything. It's got it's got emotions, it's got action, it's got cool dialogue, it's got, a character learning how to be a good leader, and there's just so much this issue has inside of it that I'm just like, man, I'm kind of blown away by it. So I don't want to say it's a perfect issue. Like, there are many good comic books out there, but this alone, as a single issue, like, alone, it's like, hey, it just shows you how cool Stormwatch is. It's enjoyable. It just plays with the whole secrecy of Stormwatch. It throws everything Stormwatch has to offer onto the table and says, "This is what we got. We're going out with a bang," and I love it. So, yeah. The art, it's great. The story, it's great. I love it. So, yeah. So, my name's Depth Charge 2030, and this has been Stormwatch Month. I've enjoyed my time talking about Stormwatch, and I hope anyone who ever watches this, currently watching this, I don't know, I hope you've enjoyed me talking about it. So, yeah. My name's Depth Charge 2030. See you all later.